Chapter 14, the end.
Miserere mei, Deus secundum magnum, misericordiam tuam el secundum multitudinum miseratarum tuarum delinquentotem meam.
David Psalm 51, 3, Vulgata 50.
12 years after the trial, Francisco van der Waal confirmed her paranoid persecutory tendency, and from her nightmares, she woke up with screams that made her follow barracks stand up. She screamed that they were lacerating her body with twisted fingers. She asked that her eyes be gouged out because they were deceiving her, that they opened her head, because a terrible pressure oppressed her temples.
Her usage and described responses to the medical test set her mental age at 12 years. But she sees in this test the idea that these are maxing of bewitching sentences through which they intend to introduce nature that war against her. That is why she wants to write those who sleep in a straitjacket, so that with an axe they will split their head, and with sewing needles they will burst their feet. She bites her nails frequently, little bugs inside her eyes brother her. She feels convulsion and faints. She cried out to be heard in confession, and for the little angels to bless her, to color her material and take it to the cellar of paradise to purify herself.
Many days she standing at the end of the country joined the epileptics and the alcoholics, with the arms in cross, moving with slowly steps, catching bugs in the air.
Also him, angel remained hours on the sun, indifferent to all, with a mechanic smile in her face, giving slaps forward of the black flies, the butterfly who follow me at midnight to run me, the medal bugs of San Benito, the cross sapphires, and the rosaries of my grandmother. She hundreds suddenly, because he has clothes full of sparkles, asked a pot filled with holy water, and confront the caregivers when her sisters come.
In her last day, Doña Josefa repaid to Tus how visit her that she was happy because Jacinto and Ayana were washed. For charity, take me to Francisca's side, because the dame governor of this prison won't let me see them.
As Aras will, she asked to be allowed to confess with her, because many times she put on the stall and give her the holy oils, and with her power to concentrate the breath in the divine body. She drove away the perverse voice that he hears every night, first pig rotting and then mouse screeching, horse snorting and weasel fussing. You must see Juan Camacho in hell. No one sleep here because of him that it.
He asked for ceremomy, for he hatched and out of charity. Please keep away Don Cayo Aurelio, who wants to disgrace all these daughters, that he stayed up all night stalking with a dagger in his hand. He approved the corridor barefoot and without pants, will be waiting for him, and will kill him even in his shouting.
The old woman suffered from pronounced arteriosclerosis, arterial hypertension, and diabetes, and present cycles of exuberant euphoria followed by deep depressions in which she barely spoke but confused words. Wake up my husband for the 6 o'clock mass for the dead, and tell Hilaria that he will die in 3 months. Tell him that he must be prevented by repression of consequence.
She advised the cook to be willing to place her feet under Jacinto's scared as soon as she crossed the gate of the afterlife. He could help her see. He was sitting on a silver throne with a crown of diamonds. She has he to give he the message that we are fine, although regretting not seeing he for so many years. That's why we are governed by such great anxiety. See, Mermaid.
Mrs. Josefa died in the spring of 38, and her remains fell into the common grave in the Tafira cemetery, where 5 years later she would be accompanied by Francisca. In her last days, she repeated to those who visited her that she was happy because Jacinto and Ariadna were saved, and that for Jacinto dead, but was the best thing because since he was little, she knew he was lazy. For that they sent him sea pink salt, and since it was so pure, he sang the Eucharistic hymn for the matter of Francisca. Essence also entered it as flies go to honeycomb of rich honey, like the little birds perch on the petals of the month of May that way without realizing.
Francisca said she felt so strong pains in her belly that she needed rubbing to relieve herself, and the doctor recorded that she had masturbating since she was 6 years old to overcome pain, according to her belief. He added that her basophilic, together with the weakness to her skeleton, with the future of childlessness to disproportionate of her arms and legs, the sweating disorders, the imbrication of her teeth, and the brilliance of her gaze were nothing but constitutive features of her abnormality, a probable consequence of syphilis.
Inherited from her grandfather, Don Euripede, from the squatter of the hacienda, from the enemies who don't accept that I am the Pope, I am God, I am the voice of source. I also have to say that if I hear things and return behind bars, it is due to having been chosen by my little brother. I don't gain when it is because of the sorrow I feel for his death, and if Ariadna feel it because she didn't have a good protector over her shoulder, otherwise she would have resisted.
Here it stinks of honey and sugar, like sometimes in our house. She said, talking to herself, and requested eucalyptus leaves to burn in the brazier, one of the few remedies with some effect on Jacinto. Also asked for camphor and a bowl with oil to light offerings to the ancestors, because they didn't know how to do good deed. I distinguished Jacinto between a blue blaze followed by 2 bundles. He was undressed with a pink suit and a cape that fluttered in the air. I have seen crowds, banners, a procession with altar boy, incense, hosannas, and 12 bishops dressed in purple, and crystal cities in the seas outside.
But I have refused to drink water because I see souls at the bottom of the glass. I have thrown it on the ground, if broken it into 1,000 pies before those men who punish me approach me. A cancer will end up eating everyone because the eyes of the Lord are damned. That said, and ordered them to bring him drops of orange blossom and cups of linder, lemon, and toronjil to drive away disturbances and the broken bones due to the bad waters that are giving me.
Miss Josefa asked me it will set fire to the house, as in ancient time, that they destroyed their last corner because La Vega, it's full of evil. For all that, Jacinto, suffering come for the intention of someone who hates us so much. For the bad example, she cleaned the house herself and Easter, died with sulfur embers, but for a long time there was a reign of evil, and that's why her son woke up with thickness and her skin round and streak marks. They are bad veins who will be marking the code vibrate. I can keep an eye all night because the roof move and the crypts continue to fill with smoke. Rise crown and they see you all and alone, without the comfort of my creatures. What can I think in this horrible place?
Many days they take Francisca away from me. They take her away so she can't even talk to him. And where are the others? Cristina is unfortunate because she hasn't even come to see me. And Maria del Pino, the same. Another half gone for us, they have told me. One married and the other in by a family. But lightning split them all, breeding ravens. Mothers are like little birds that had the eggs as long as it takes. They spend hours collecting food, insects and seeds, as much as they can fancy.
As they fill the crop, they flew there so happy after their children. They arrive at the nest, they hear the chirping of the creatures, and immediately they tear everything from the bag so that they can feed. We do this with pleasure as many times as necessary. The worst come later because as soon as they grow up, they don't even thank you for all you have done for them. Life is full of ingratitude, and that is why no one remembers the good done to so many people. They are fattening with us, as if we had done something terrible.
And what about that husband of mine? He's a scoundrel, a real scoundrel. I still remember when he told me that I had given him so many daughters at the wrong time. It was unfair to raise them for years and years, only to have a shameless man come along and take only two away his flowers, floor, the fridge, and room, with their talk of love. Only seek to please themselves, and in the same way, most marriages are unhappy.
He wants to enjoy them all, one by one, and as soon as I see him, I'll cut off his member. We can only accept the will of the Most High, who has us suffering. The doctor added that Francisca was mixing up various events, although at times said, had yet seen me surprising coherent.
Thus he considered that Farren and Guardia had been set by God, but nobody understood his God's intention. The rules said the country did not need wise men but oxen that worked with their age crops, opening the sea furrow as always, without separating a matter from each other. How much is ready desert? Thus is why they closed their schools, accused him of hiding the maze and ended up shooting him on and him facing the sea.
Caruso went to the other world due to bronchitis and being on the bedside table. I knew that my little brother was going to do of the same thing. Jacinto was ahead. It would be the London will to take the best other ahead of time, and we couldn't of prose then. When I spent many days in bed due to the attacks, we were bad. And Juan Camayo hidden, deciding